In a world run by giants, where massive financial institutions held all the power, a new kind of hero was about to be born. Not one of flesh and blood, but forged from pure code. This is the origin story of Bitcoin.
All right, let's just start with this one big question. Forever, sending money has meant trusting someone in the middle, a bank, a credit card company, you name it. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could send value directly from one person to another, kind of like handing someone cash, but over the internet?
You see, before our hero showed up, the whole world of online commerce had a fundamental problem. It was all built on a pretty fragile foundation of trust. Even Bitcoin's mysterious creator, the one and only Satoshi Nakamoto, pointed this out way back in 2008. This whole trust-based model meant transaction costs were high. Fraud was, let's be honest, just part of the game, and truly final irreversible payments, pretty much impossible. Now, people had tried to create digital cash before. Think of these as the fallen heroes who came first. You had DigiCash in the 90s, a really noble attempt, but it was centralized. So when the company failed, the currency just died. Then you had B-Money and BitGold, who had some of the right ideas, but they couldn't defeat the ultimate villain, the double spending problem. That's the huge risk that someone could spend the exact same digital coin twice, which would obviously destroy its value. It was a puzzle nobody could seem to solve.
And then, right when the world needed it most, a new blueprint appeared, written by a total unknown, a true hero's code.
And the timing? Oh, it was just so dramatic. Halloween 2008. The traditional financial system is literally crumbling. And out of nowhere, a white paper called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, gets published to a cryptography mailing list. It was basically a 9-page manual for a revolution.
And this is where the mission becomes crystal clear. When the very first block of Bitcoin was mined, they call it the Genesis block, Satoshi embedded this exact newspaper headline right into the code. This wasn't just a timestamp, it was a statement, a direct critique of the very system Bitcoin was built to challenge.
So, what made this hero so different from all the ones who tried and failed? Well, it all comes down to a really unique set of superpowers.
First up, the blockchain. Just imagine an unbreakable, unforgeable public book of records. Every single transaction is a block, and it's chained to the one before it using some seriously powerful cryptography. Once a block is on there, it cannot be changed, ever. It creates this permanent, transparent history that absolutely everyone can see.
Its next power is just immense strength, and it comes from something called proof of work. To add a new block to that chain, miners all over the world are in a race to solve an incredibly complex math puzzle. It's this intense computational effort that makes the network so secure, making it practically impossible for any bad guy to overpower it.
So, how's it all work in practice? Well, say you send a transaction. It gets broadcast to this huge network of computers, or nodes, that are all running the software. Miners then scoop up these transactions and put them into a new block. They all compete in that puzzle race we just talked about, and the winner gets to add their block to the chain, locking in all the transactions inside. It's pretty cool. And here is maybe its most famous superpower: absolute scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. Full stop. This isn't some policy that a government or a bank can just change on a whim. It is hard-coded right into the system itself. This scarcity is enforced by this really cool built-in event called the halving. Roughly every 4 years, the reward that miners get for creating a new block gets cut in half. This slows down the rate of new supply, making Bitcoin a deflationary asset by its very design. But, no hero's journey is complete without facing some serious adversity. And Bitcoin has battled its share of trials and confronted a whole gallery of villains.
Its greatest trial might just be its own volatility. I mean, the price swings are legendary. Sure, it saw a massive 157% gain in 2023, but it has also faced these absolutely crushing bear markets, like a 73% drop in 2018 and another 65% fall in 2022. It is a wild, wild ride.
And then, of course, you have the villains. From the Silk Road darknet market, which kind of tainted its early reputation, to the catastrophic collapse of the Mt. Gox exchange, to huge hacks like the one at Bitfinex. Each one of these events has really tested the resilience of the whole ecosystem. But in the face of all these trials, a really unique culture started to emerge. During one big price crash, a user on a forum famously and drunkenly misspelled the word hold, and a new word was born: hodl. It totally became this humorous, defiant battle cry for believers to just hold on tight through all the chaos.
Despite all the trials, our hero hasn't just survived, it's thrived. And in doing so, it sparked a whole new kind of gold rush, one for the digital age.
And this led people to start comparing it to the original store of value, gold. But there are some pretty big differences. Bitcoin has absolute mathematical scarcity, while gold's supply actually goes up a little bit every year. And you can send millions of dollars in Bitcoin across the world in minutes. Try doing that with gold bars. In a world that's getting more and more digital, having a native digital store of value is a really powerful idea.
And in 2024, the hero finally arrived on Wall Street. The approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US was this huge landmark moment. It gave mainstream investors super easy access and signaled a whole new level of acceptance from the big institutions.
Okay, but what about its energy use? This is a major criticism. And yeah, Bitcoin mining does consume a lot of power, about 110 terawatt hours per year. But just to put that into perspective, the traditional gold mining industry, as you can see right here, consumes more than double that amount every single year.
So, after all the battles, the betrayals, and the breakthroughs, where does our hero go from here? Well, this saga is far from over. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Has Bitcoin already fulfilled its destiny just by offering an alternative to the traditional system? Or is it going to face new, unforeseen challenges that could threaten everything it's built? The final chapters, well, they have yet to be written.
So to wrap up this origin story, here's the hero's official stat sheet: a mysterious creator, a system literally born from a crisis, an elegant solution for peer-to-peer electronic cash. It's a story that just keeps unfolding, one block at a time.